वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेशमनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्य माव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्धियं येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिरवाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्मा परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः। मय्यार्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते जयः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगै मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिरमौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना भक्तास्तेऽतीव मे प्रियः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता सूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्ण अर्जुन संवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः हरिः ओम तत्सत् हरिः ओम तत्सत् हरिः ओम तत्सत् श्री कृष्ण परमस्तु शुभं भूयात् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
जिस समय अर्जुन ने गीता पढ़ी है, अर्जुन 75 साल का था तब उसको गीता सुनाई थी, और ये अर्जुन से बड़े थे, तो ये 125 से ऊपर के थे, लेकिन दाढ़ी नहीं आई, मूछ नहीं आई, और बूढ़े भी नहीं हुए, तो उनके कर्म दूसरे हैं। नहीं समझ में आता है, नहीं आएगा, इसलिए गुरु की आवश्यकता है। और ये गुरु की परंपरा आज से नहीं चली है, अनादिकाल से, जब से सृष्टि बनी है तब से गुरु परंपरा है। और जितने भी हुए, अब चाहे सिख न माने गुरु को, लेकिन सिखों के गुरुओं ने गुरु किए थे। गोविंद सिंह का भी कोई गुरु था, अर्जुन देव का भी कोई गुरु था। भले आर्य समाज न माने गुरुओं को, ना समझी से, लेकिन ऋषि दयानंद का भी कोई गुरु था, और ऋषि दयानंद भी किसी के गुरु थे। स्वामी श्रद्धानंद जी से मैं मिला हूं, वो उनके गुरु थे। तो सज्जनों, गुरु की परंपरा हमेशा से है और हमेशा रहेगी, लेकिन अब आजकल उसका मिसयूज हो रहा है। तो मिसयूज हो जाए, लेकिन गुरु परंपरा खराब नहीं है। अब ये कमरा है कि नहीं? आपने क्या बनाया? ये पूजा पाठ के लिए। आप चले जाओ यहां से, कल मैं खरीद लूंगा कमरा, तो फिर हो जाएगा कि नहीं है? मैं यहाँ भगवान का फोटो हटा दूंगा, बाथरूम यहीं बनाऊंगा, कमोड लगा दूंगा, तो इसी कमरे का मिसयूज हो गया। और यहीं बैठ करके मैं सबको गीता पढ़ाऊंगा, योग सिखाऊंगा, बूढ़ों को फिर जवान बना दूंगा मेरी तरह, तो ये उसका प्रॉपर यूज होगा। तो हमने सब चीजों का मिसयूज कर दिया है। कई भाई कहते हैं कृष्ण महाराज तो अवतार नहीं थे। मैं पूछता हूँ नहीं थे तो तुम उनको मानते जी क्यों हो? हम भी तुम्हारे साथ ही नहीं मानते। चलो फिर तुम ये क्यों कहते हो कि उन्होंने इतनी औरतें क्यों करी? जब थे नहीं तो औरतें कैसे करी? फिर उन्होंने गोवर्धन कैसे उठाया? लेकिन सारा ग्रंथ हमारा लिटरेचर सारा भरा हुआ है इससे। तो सज्जनों, अवतार और कृष्ण ये दो नहीं। जो भी नीचे आता है दूसरों को ऊपर उठाने के लिए वो अवतार है, लेकिन अब उनमें किसी में कम विभूति है, किसी में ज्यादा है। तो अब टाइम बहुत हो गया है और आप लोग सोच रहे हो घड़ियां देखने लगे हो। तो मैं तो घड़ियां देखता नहीं हूँ, फिर भी मुझे किसी ने घड़ी दे दी है, ये घड़ी रखो स्वामी जी। वो जब मैं बैंकॉक में काम कर रहा था ना, प्रवचन कर रहा था, लोग आते थे तो एक सेठ जी आते थे, रोज सबसे पहले आते सत्संग में, सबसे पहले भाषण देने वाले पहले आ गए, सुनने वालों का पता ही नहीं। तो वहां वो सेठ जी सबसे पहले आते थे और खाली हाथ कभी नहीं आते, रोज कुछ न कुछ लेके आते थे। तो एक दिन मैंने देखा उनको, तो एक इतना सारा डिब्बा लेके आए मखमल का, ऊपर से वो सोने की पट्टी चढ़ी हुई। तो मैंने, अब मेरी नजर गई उस तरफ, गीता पाठी हुआ तो क्या हुआ, लालच तो सबके अंदर है ही है, कुछ न कुछ है लालच। किसी को रोटी का, किसी को नोट का, किसी को सोट का, किसी को पोट का, किसी को मकान का, किसी को कार का। तो मेरी नजर उधर गई, बार बार उधर जाएगी नजर। तो मैंने कहा मैं प्रवचन अच्छा कर नहीं सकूंगा, तो क्यों नहीं ये शंका दूर करूं। मैंने सेठ जी से पूछा, सेठ जी क्या लाए हो? कहने लगे स्वामी जी अभी देता हूँ आपको। खोल करके उसने घड़ी निकाल के मुझे दे दी, फर्स्ट क्लास घड़ी, 7,000 रुपए की। मैंने कहा इसको मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं तो घड़ी लगाता नहीं, मुझे घड़ी की जरूरत ही नहीं है। पर नहीं स्वामी जी आपके लिए नहीं लाया हूँ, तो हमारे लिए लाया हूँ। आप ये घड़ी अपने पास रखो ताकि आप भाषण करो तो आपको दिख जाए कि टाइम कितना हो गया है, क्योंकि आपको तो सवेरे न दफ्तर जाना है न दुकान जाना है। अभी आप घर जाओ जल्दी से तो अच्छा ही रहेगा, नहीं तो बच्चे फिर चिल्लाएंगे। बच्चे कल से कह देंगे डैडी खबरदार है तुम गए तो, और जाओ तो सिनेमा में भले चले जाओ लेकिन बाबा जी के पास मत जाओ। हाँ, बोल कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। भाई एक साथ बोलो न जय, एक साथ सब जन एक आवाज में बोलो, और फिर देखो कि एक साथ बोलने में कितना अच्छा लगता है। कमर सीधी कर लो और फिर बोलो बोल कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। एक साथ का ही आनंद। बाजार में 3,000 आदमी चलते हैं, कोई नहीं देखता उनको। जाते हैं सुपरमार्केट में, खूब घूमते हैं आदमी, ऐसे घूमते तो चीटियां चल रही हैं। लेकिन मिलिट्री वाले 10 आदमी अगर निकले सड़क पर, सब खड़े होकर देखने लग जाते हैं कि मिलिट्री वाले जाते हैं। क्यों? उनका कदम एक साथ होता है, उनकी ड्रेस एक जैसी होती है। वो कोई कास्ट या कम्युनिटी नहीं होती है, पर उनकी वो यूनिटी होती है। उसको देख के लोग कहते हैं मिलिट्री वाले जा रहे हैं। ऐसे ही आपको देखेंगे जब एक साथ जय बोलते हैं कैसी अच्छी लगी, और एक साथ गीता पढ़ेंगे तो इससे भी ज्यादा अच्छी लगेगी, और एक साथ गीता का ज्ञान धारण कर लेंगे, धरती में स्वर्ग आएगा, हमको स्वर्ग में ही जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। स्वर्ग कहेगा चलो धरती पर, क्यों? वहां गीता शुरू हो गई है। तो एक बार फिर बोलो प्रेम से, बोल कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की हरिओम तत्सत। ये देखो कंस चाणूरमर्दनम देवकी परमानंदम कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत् यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया। इस अध्याय में भगवान ने अपने आप ही कृपा करके बोलना शुरू कर दिया। अर्जुन ने कुछ पूछा नहीं था, लेकिन जिस समय ये प्रेम उमड़ता है माँ का, अपने आप बच्चे को लेके गोद में खिलाने लगती है। भगवान का जब प्रेम उमड़ता है तो अपने आप उपदेश देना शुरू कर देता है। आप में से कई लोग सोचते हैं कई बार गीता की तरफ आगे बढ़ेंगे, नहीं बढ़ पाते, लेकिन जब भगवान की कृपा हो जाती है तो अपने आप ही आप बढ़ जाते हैं, और बढ़ ही नहीं जाते हैं, याद भी कर लेते हैं। तो ये भगवान की बड़ी कृपा। वो कहते क्या है, भूय एव, फिर सुन ले। भूल कहते हैं फिर। अर्जुन तो फिर सुन ले मुझसे, मैं तुझे बता रहा हूं। क्या सुन ले? परमम वचन, सुनो में परमम वचन, मेरे जो श्रेष्ठ विचार है वो मैं अब तुमको बता रहा हूँ, वो भी तो सुने। अभी अर्जुन ने नहीं पूछा कि आप अपने श्रेष्ठ विचार मुझे बताओ। कहते हैं यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया, क्योंकि तू मेरा बहुत प्यारा है अर्जुन, और तेरे कल्याण के लिए ही मैं ये सब कहना चाहता हूँ। कितनी कृपा करते हैं भगवान इस 10वें अध्याय में। न मे विदुः सुरगणाः प्रभवं न महर्षयः अहमादिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः। अर्जुन, मेरे इस प्रभाव को कोई नहीं जानता। न मे विदुः, कोई नहीं जानता। सुरगणा, बड़े बड़े देवता लोग भी मेरे जिस प्रभाव को जानते नहीं हैं, वो मैं तुझे कह रहा हूं और तेरे हित के लिए कह रहा हूं। आमादिर्हि, वो जान कैसे सकते हैं? इसका मैंने कारण बताया। सबसे पहले तो मैं हुआ, वो तो थे ही नहीं। देवता और देवियां थे ही नहीं संसार में। सबसे पहले तो नहीं था, तो वो मुझे जब थे ही नहीं तो वो मुझे जान नहीं सकते। अरे भाई देखो ना, एक आदमी पैदा हुआ, जिस दिन वो पैदा हुआ था उस समय उसके बेटे पोते तो कोई थे नहीं। ये तो बाद में हुए हैं। तो उसके पैदा होने के समय का उत्सव का वो कैसे वर्णन कर सकते हैं? बेटे और पोते वो तो थे ही नहीं। तो कहते हैं देवता लोग, ये ऋषि लोग, ये तो थे ही नहीं, ये हुए पीछे हैं अर्जुन। अहम आदिर्हि, मैं आदि हूं सबका। इसलिए मेरे इस प्रभाव को कोई नहीं जानता है, पर मैं अब तुझे बता रहा हूं। यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समर्थ्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते। यो माम अज, अज का मैंने अर्थ बताया। अ माने नहीं और ज माने जन्म। जिसका जन्म नहीं होता उसको कहते हैं अज। भगवान कहते हैं मैं तो अज हूं, मेरा तो जन्म कभी हुआ ही नहीं, तो होता ही नहीं। इस प्रकार मेरे स्वरूप को जो खाली जान लेता है, कौन जान सकता है? बोला मूढ़ नहीं जानता, असम्मूढ़। जो मूढ़ नहीं है वो ज्ञानी पुरुष इसको जान सकते हैं। और इसको जान लेने से क्या फल मिलता है? सर्व पाप ही प्रमुच्यते। सारे जन्म जन्मांतर के पिछले जन्म में भी हमने जो पाप किए हैं उससे हम मुक्त हो जाते हैं, अगर ये जान लें तो।
अर्जुन वो तू जान, अब मैं आज तुझे बता रहा हूँ।
Stop. Microphone is
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा
unmuted.
गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो
Please.
महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
Voice,
This, yeah.
Pedriti, you are mute.
Sorry. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Respected Gita devotees, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. On behalf of Swami Gita Kiranji, Guru Bhai Joshi ji, and myself, I extend a very warm Gita Ashram welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking the time to grace us with your presence. And we'd also like to welcome Guru Bhai Joshi ji back. You were missed very dearly, and I'm so delighted and happy to see that Guru Maji has joined us for our session today. Very welcome, Guru Maji. It is so nice to have you with us. Having said that, to make it easier, a timer with an alarm notification will be displayed on top of the screen, and we humbly request our esteemed speakers to kindly observe the time limits, for which I thank you in advance. Our guest speaker for today is our older son, Dr. Amit Ganglani of Gita Ashram, Toronto and Charlotte, North Carolina. It is in the form of a video that was recorded 5 years ago on this platform when we used to do our Sunday broadcasts. If you'd like to participate as a guest speaker, kindly let us know and we'll have your name down. Having said that, I now would like to invite Guru Bhai Joshi ji to please conduct the session as per our agenda. Over to you, Joshi ji. Thank you so much, and Jai Shri Krishna, everyone.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Thank you very much, Pedriti. I'm very happy to be back after 2 months from Gita Dham. And I want to give some of my experience there. Dear friends, Gita Dham is not a piece of land, number one. Moment you enter the gate of Gita Dham, something happens to you that you very clearly feel it's a different location, different place. So I want to request you, please make a point sometime as soon as possible to enter that area and feel Gurudev's presence and the power of spirituality in that place. Beautiful place, very well organized. As far as conference was concerned, it went very well. This time there was an experiment. We had main international conference in the city of Jodhpur. A beautiful hall was donated by Maheshwari Samaj, and there were about 500 plus people, and they were whole day packed. And the organizer, including me and leadership of Sri Raman Tognacharji, we were bused to the location in Jodhpur from Gita Dham, which is about 48 kilometers. And it went extremely well. Swami Madhavanandji, Vikramanandji, and Guru Maharaj speaker. It was just too much. It's different, but too good. Also, I want to definitely want you to remember Dr. Prasadji, and the Board of Trustees who chose the topic of the conference, Gana Karmano Gati. Before I move forward, I want to request all of you, go to the chapter 4 and verse 17 and study it thoroughly. And if you understand this verse, Gana Karmano Gati, dear friends, all of your worries, miseries, and problems will dissolve like camphor. I experimented with this Gana Karmano Gati as a joke, and it got sink into my system. There's absolutely no reason for any one of us or anyone in the world to worry, because we are getting exactly what we asked for, and when we get what we asked for, there should not be any worry, and it gives us, help us to clean up our acts from now onward. And I used to feel the presence of Gurudev all the times. And dear friends, I remember very distinctly, Guru can change the Bhagya. Your Sadguru can change the Bhagya. He can wash out all of our previous negative karmas and put our life back into the clean world and help us move forward so that we can experience the moksha in this very, very life. Moving forward, I want to thank Dr. Prasadji, Raman Chognataji, and Gurma who approved this Gana Karmanogati. A very powerful word. Read some explanation from other books, and it has the power to transform almost instantly. It did it to me, and a couple of more people that I stayed with. And beautiful bhajans, live relay. I'm sure that it is recorded. You can go back and see those programs. Our students are doing very well. I was there to inaugurate being the chief guest on 26 January. Wonderful students, very capable. And we awarded certificates to many students who are doing 90% plus and around. We feel very proud to be there. I was there for 2 months, and when I left back, I felt like it was only a week and a half. It's a place, it's a miracle place. It's not Switzerland or Italy, but it is no words to explain what this Dham is. Again, insist, request, suggest, please come there next year when we have Gurudev's birthday again. And our blessings are more clearly felt when you are in Dham. We can feel it here too. I feel it every time, all the time, every moment. And you live like a bird flying, no worry, very happy, very neutral. Samatva Yoga Uchyate. I'm very happy to be back to share my experience with you after 2 months. And Dr. Prasad, I committed myself that I might go back in October, November for 6 months this time and see if I can bring more life into Bhagavad Gita and Gita Dham. But finally, I want to thank our great capable leader, Naman Chognataji, our president of Gita Dham, and other executive members, and great volunteer force at Gita Dham. I'm excited saying this. I want to continue through the program and request very dear friend Dr. Narendra Kapoorji to please reach out further to me and others. Jai Shri Krishna. Narendra.
Jai Shri Krishna and Ram Ram to all. I am so much excited hearing the descriptive analysis of Gita
Your
Dham
volume is low.
celebration. And Om Shri Paramatme Namaha Gita Shasmidham Punyam Ya Pathet Priyatapaman Vishnu Padam Vaproti Bhay Shokadivarjitaha Gita Adhyan Shilasya Pranayam Parasya Cha Naiva Santi Hi Papani पूर्वजन्म कृतानि च ॐ शान्तकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिवृद्ध्यानुगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैनाथम् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीय मामृतात् ॐ Srimad Bhagavad Gita was narrated from the lotus lips of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Approximately
Is
5,000 years
okay?
in the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Volume.
And there are 18 chapters, 700 verses, 3 schools of thought, the yoga of action, karma yoga, the yoga of bhakti, devotion, and the yoga of knowledge, the Gyan Yoga. Today, I just want to share with you with utmost humility that there are 4 Vedas, there are 108 Upanishads, and there are a lot of commentaries and 2 profound epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the apex point of spirituality. In spite of all this supreme heritage, our country remained 1,000 years slave. What we did wrong, where we did wrong, and what we are still doing wrong, we must challenge ourselves. Because in spite of atom bomb in your hands, and we were so scared to confront the enemy at every level. What we did wrong? Bhagavad Gita was there for the last 5,000 years. Brilliant Mahatmas, they were there. But what we did wrong? So under the self-analysis concept, the thought comes that we didn't apply it. We continue to propagate. We continue to debate, but we didn't apply that in our practical social life. In Punjab, they chopped off the head of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. 4 beautiful young kids were slaughtered in different ways. And Shivaji, Maharana Pratap, they fought alone. What we did wrong? One day slavery under the concept and knowledge of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a crime. And still we are not applying it. And that is a human tragedy. Challenge yourself what we are doing. In metropolitan cities, I am also in New York, other metropolitan cities where more Indians are living, nobody teaches. There are no schools. And there's no application of Bhagavad Gita. There are parties and after parties and religious celebrations at a different level. But Bhagavad Gita's application, we are not applying on a daily basis. And I am scared that if we are still there, I don't know how long, the time is coming, then the same dark night will come. So better educate yourself, apply on a daily basis when you meet and deal in the social system. Apply the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Behave differently. Change people's thinking. It is not celebrations. We never came on this planet as celebration. We are in the captivity. 3/4 is water, 1/4 is earth. You cannot go more than 200 miles with this body. You cannot go in the depth of the sea. You are in a jail. And it's a very limited time. So do it, and do it. You have to do it. Apply the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in the social system in which you are living. It is not the party time. It is now or never. The anti-Gita philosophy, there are a lot of enemies roaming around. So get up, gird up your loins, and apply Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis in the social system, in your festivities. We are doing a lot of festivals, but Bhagavad Gita is missing. People are still full of division, full of hate, full of enmity. And in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, get up and hold your Gandhi. हमें पता तो है, पढ़ते भी हैं हम, लेकिन हम गांडी भी नहीं उठाते. So do it. You have to do it. That is the true application of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It hurts when you look around in temples and other institutions, festivities are going on, but true application to change people, that movement is missing. If you look around the quality of the people they are living, it is very hurtful. People have become more selfish. People are full of jealousy, but still they are holding Bhagavad Gita in their hands. So challenge yourself and get up and get the message of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, our great master Swami Hariharji Maharaj. He inspired millions of people on the 7 continents. And we are the eyewitness. We didn't know anything about Bhagavad Gita. But once you get it right, Guruji's Ashirvad is always there. He's patting at your back. And there are living examples on this platform. I don't want to name. They are applying in their lives. They are changing people's lives. So we should also do that. Do that. Read Bhagavad Gita, digest it, but then apply it also. We are not applying. We have become ritualistic. I have been stressing time and again. It may sound a little more excessive, but the truth is, we are the holding Bhagavad Gita, but we are not applying. And we didn't apply, and it resulted into 1,000 years slavery, brutality. They demolished all your temples, everything. And that time will come again. You have to gird up your loins, stand up, and digest the wisdom, and then go to the society and change collectively, in our ashrams, in our temple. This should be the predominant thought to bring the unity under one flag of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is universal. It is not in the box, it is out of the box thinking. So apply it, inspire people. And in the process, this is divine warranty of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. You will change. You will change. Jai Shri Krishna and Ram Ram.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. We are very lucky to hear on video from a person who I know from his childhood, a very talented boy, a doctor, MBA valedictorian, practicing in North Carolina, son of dear Peter Ganglani ji. And I request Gita Kiran ji, please play the video from Amit Ganglani, Dr. Amit Ganglani. Thank you. I know from the childhood he could recite 12 chapters from front, back, front. I can still do it. Very, 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 very fortunate, lucky to know him. Here he goes.
Okay, I'd like to continue. I would like to invite the speaker for today's session, Dr. Amit Ganglani of Gita Ashram, Toronto, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Amit is the older son of my wife Rakhi and myself. Over to you, Amit. Please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Good morning, Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to speak. When my father asked me to speak, at the time I said, okay, yeah, I'll speak what I would speak about. But then as I started thinking, I realized that my brother and I, we had a unique position after I've been hearing everybody's stories of encounters and interactions with Gurudev. Most of you all are my age now or a little younger when you met Gurudev for the first time. My brother and I met Gurudev for the first time when we were kids. So we have a unique position as observers of his impact on everyone else's life. Because while our parents were in the room seeking guidance, we were there listening, but not really necessarily understanding a lot. But what we did do is we as time went on, our understanding and knowledge evolved from a why do we go because we have to why do we go because it's part of who we are. So all my life, I can remember him being a part of it. It was from satsangs every second Sunday to this extended family we had at satsang and friends that we have and we made at satsang. For me, it was with the fellow kids. But over time, we started to evolve ourselves from being just people who sang and clapped to being ones who spoke and learned. And a lot of that happened from listening to Gurudev speak at satsang, asking my parents questions about what it meant when we would travel to visit Gurudev at different Gita Ashram conferences, realizing, wow, it's not just our little group of 20 people in Toronto in different homes, but it's all these other people. And you realize there's this international touch, there's this extended family. And that was another observation, is that one person kind of tied everyone together. So as an observer in our life, what it brought to our home was closeness. We had a common, I have a father, but my father has a father, and so it was almost the closest to having, it's a spiritual father, spiritual grandfather in our home, and to watch my parents' deference and respect to what he would say, kind of as again, indirect observer lesson. You're supposed to respect your parents, respect your elders, but when you watch your parents respecting someone else, you absorb that lesson, and we learned about that. We gained our spiritual knowledge from learning, memorizing prayers and the 12th chapter, to then starting to understand deeper of what these questions meant. And one thing that always stuck with me was the whole concept of your body, your soul changes bodies as you change clothes. And that's something that's always stuck with me all my life, because that led to so many questions to my parents about understanding about where we go from now to the next life, how you reconcile what you're going through and pain that you're going through in this life. And all of that were lessons that I learned at age 9, age 10, and I'm 41 now, and I'm still contemplating that. And when my 6-year-old son now asks me, where do we go from here? Are you always going to be my mama and papa? What happens when I'm 60? How old are you going to be? And they start asking me these questions. I find myself repeating, hey, let me give you an example. You know how you change your clothes every day, but you're still the same person? This is how life happens. And that was an indirect lesson I learned from Gurudev and learned through my parents. So they were kind of the translators for me for our lesson. Some big impacts in my life. As you know, when I was 13, I just finished grade 8 in Toronto. I know this was probably much more, the plans were in place much sooner than I was more aware of them. But for me, the impact happened when the whole concept and project of Gita Dham came up. Because of the groundwork laid, because of the previous 10 or 15 years of my life that Gurudev was part of it, and the impact he had on my parents and all the people in the world and everyone you saw, when my parents asked my brother and I about, hey, we've been asked to go to India, and what do you all think about? I mean, the reality is there wasn't really any hesitation. There wasn't any like rebelling or anything. It was like, okay, we'll go to India. And we went on this pretty epic adventure in hindsight to Rajasthan, to Jodhpur, and spent just under 2 years over there. And at the time, it was a big culture shock. I wasn't as part of all the hard work my father was doing and the friendships he made and sitting in the middle of the desert to help build and organize the site. But what came out of it was life-changing moments, appreciation of India, appreciation of our Indian culture, an acceleration of my speaking and grasp and understanding of Hindi. All my life I'd done all that classes, but I learned when you're in Rajasthan, in India, and you need to communicate, you need to know how to communicate. English just only gets you so far. And then the most important thing was, as a family, you really realize you're in it together. And we went through a lot of things together, positive, negative. We started over when we went to India. We started over when we came back to Toronto. And it just created lessons. You learn to adapt. And the reason I'm talking about this is because, again, we go back. Why did I learn all these lessons? Is because of, again, indirectly as an observer, Gurudev in my life. I was never in a room with him and I asked him a direct question. I mean, I did through my parents, but I never sat and had the same conversations all of you all did with him. We learned trickle-down effect. We learned lessons indirectly. And the life I live today, 20 years since he's been on this earth, are still steeped in lessons that I've learned from him. I just don't realize they're lessons that I've learned from him because they're who I am. It's a part of me. What I do know is there's this big positive that's happened again out of a negative. I've learned with this lockdown that's happened and the world changing, I wouldn't be talking to you all. I haven't seen, like Uncle Shakti's face for I don't know how many years, but now because we do satsang, I see him. And it's like a reconnection to all these people. Uncle Joshi, to see you again, like we would see each other at Gita Dham conferences. And it was nice to see people like that you're like, I know them. And why do I know them? I don't know them, but I know them because we all share a common father, a common grandfather, someone who bound us all together on this journey. So where I am today, I find myself a spiritual person. I may not be as ritualistic, but I'm respectful. I wouldn't change who I am and what I believe in. And everything that I have is stemmed with my father's and my mother's encounters with Gurudev. If my dad hadn't met Gurudev at my grandfather's home, I'd be a completely different person. All that trickle-down effect of who I am today. And last observations, as a kid in the room with Gurudev, I always remember when you take Ashirwad from him, he'd smack your back nice and hard, but it would never hurt. You could hear the sound of his hands hitting your back, and it would never hurt. It was such a nice feeling when you get Ashirwad from him. And it never felt proper if he didn't smack you in the back. It felt like you were getting something. And other observations were, when you'd ask him a question, or when, parents would ask him a question, it was almost like a time pause. It was like you're calling India before you'd say something, and 5 minutes later he'd answer. But at first you wonder, like, did he hear me? Did he not hear me? What is he saying? And you realize, like, now in hindsight, as you get older, that he was listening, he was understanding, he was formulating what he was going to respond. And that pause says a lot. It says a lot, that pause. It was somebody who was thinking before he answered. And at the time, I didn't know. I'm like, why isn't he answering? Did he not understand the question? What's going on? But those were kind of moments you know. And I don't know how much time I have, but again, I'm rambling. I realize this, but it's just so many wonderful things in my life. I've been to London because of Gurudev. I've been to Minneapolis. I've been to Chicago. And all these we never stayed in a hotel. We stayed in people's homes. And why did we stay in their homes? They don't know us. They know us because why? We all shared Gurudev. The names and the people that I've been exposed to, the common thread is humility. And it was always cool to me to learn, what does this uncle do? What does that uncle do? Or they run this, or they're that, or and even if it wasn't a title of a ownership of a business, it was just, you could see their family life, and it was always aspirational. It was always really nice, a sense of pride to have that kind of connection with so many people in the world, where in a world we live now, we lack that connection, right? We barely can talk to our neighbors, and it's so nice to have a person who still 20 years later, we're still talking to each other. We still have that memory, that tie that binds us. So, yeah, not really organized conversation, but just really observations, a huge impact in my life, which until this very moment I didn't realize until I'm saying it all out loud how powerful it was. And it was always cool, my brother and I, we'd a competition to learn the 12th chapter, and remember standing on stages and Gurudev would name a verse, and we'd like say it. We feel like we're the coolest kids. Like, what world do you find that you're cool because you know religious prayers? It was a nice environment to be in growing up. Learned a lot, and it really informed who I am today. Jai Shri Krishna.
Amit, you really touched my heart. So proud of you. Thank you.
So beautiful.
Take
So beautiful.
it away, please. Thank you.
We are all proud of him and proud of you too. I know Dr. Amit since he was a very little boy and his brother. Thank you very much for presenting him, and I hope you can do the same thing for his younger brother, Sir Ganglani. Thank you very much. At this time, I want to very respectfully invite Dr. Yupasadji to carry on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joshi. Nice to see you again, conducting the program. So good to hear about Gita Dham and the program. I was able to follow that. It was very nicely transmitted through video, and we could see all the proceedings there. It was extremely nice. Now let me start with prayer to Bhagwan and Gurudev. Vansi Vibhushita Karan Navanirdabhat Pitambara Darunabimba Phaladharostat Purnendu Sundara Mukha Arvind Netrat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tat Tvamaham न जाने अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Divine souls, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. We have been going through chapter 12, and last week we started to decipher what Bhagavan talks about in mantra 16. Bhagavan says, Anapeksha Shuchir Daksha Udasino Gatavyatha सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः. He who has no expectation is pure, skillful, impartial, free from pain, and who is renouncer of all undertakings. Such a devotee of mine is dear to me. Let me explain one word after another. When we talk of anapeksha, it is opposite of apeksha, expectation, dependence on. So Bhagavan says that yogi bhakta, that jnani bhakta is very dear to me because he has no dependence on the world outside. Is free from dependence. In other words, you depend on inside. There is someone inside you who is keeping you on, and you draw joyous ecstasy from within. You don't depend upon sansar. Last week, I told you about this bhajan. We often hear, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे, बनवारी रे, जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे. अगर जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम है तो फिर दुनिया वालों से क्या काम. बहुत सही, absolutely correct, no doubt about it. But again, it is a question of how much we depend on ourselves, our what we call is mind, and the environment, the world outside. If we are able to get away from dependence on sansar and rely everything, surrender yourself entirely to Bhagavan, then you are supreme Jnani Bhakta. That Jnani Bhakta is also Suchi, is purity, not only from outside, but also from within. He is Daksha, he is very careful, he watches, he is alert. What he is alert about? About problems coming from sansar. He wants to remain unaffected from impacts from sansar. Any problem coming from sansar, he is able to ward off. That is Daksha. And at the same time, he engages himself with intellectually, he is vigorous about his involvement with Bhagavan, his association with Bhagavan, his engagement with Bhagavan. So at one side, he is mentally fully agile, fully alert to be able to not get affected by implications, by things outside in the world. He is भगवान के साथ संबंध स्थापित करता है, संसार से संबंध नहीं, संसार से संबंध छोड़कर भगवान के साथ संबंध जोड़ता है. That is Daksha, that he is alert about it. Now coming to Udasin, Udasin has two words, Ut, Asin. Ut is higher and Asin is pedestal. So one is at a higher pedestal. Meaning of Udasin is impartial, pakshapat rahit, nirlipt. When he has to take a decision, that decision should be impartial, without any favoritism. He is at a higher level. Now when we talk of Udasin, I have put there Ubhaya Bharati. Ubhaya Bharati name comes up, and most of you will know that this Ubhaya Bharati was wife of Mandana Misra. The story of the debate between Mandan Mishra and Adi Shankaracharya is very much prevalent, very much known people. The interesting thing was that Udasi Ubhay Bharti was the wife of Mandan Mishra, who had to in debate defeat Adi Shankaracharya. Now imagine somebody's wife is the judge and he has to fight with or debate with somebody else, and she had to take a decision having husband at one side and another person debating with him. Little bit of, I would like to share with you, little bit of background about this story of Adi Shankaracharya having debate with Mandan Mishra. Adi Shankaracharya was born at a time when the Buddhism was on decline. You know, the Buddhists had spread very widely during 5th century BC. And at that time, the Sanatan Dharma was somewhere in the doldrum. The Buddhism had very much spread rampant, but at the time when Adi Shankaracharya was born, then their decline had started to take place in Buddhism. But Sanatan Dharma was mainly, it was Karma Kand. You know, in Veda, we have what 100,000 sloka, of which 80,000 are Karma Kand. So people were following all the Karma Kand, or Karma Kandi. There are 16,000 Upasana Kand, and only 4,000 is what is called Jnana Kand. When Adi Shankaracharya came, he was from very childhood, he was very bright, and at the age of 8, he took sannyasa and went to the ashram of Govind Bhagavad Pada. And there he was there for 4 years. And at the age of 12, he was asked to go to Badrinath. He went to Badrinath, and there he wrote Bhasya, commentary, on all the 3 Prasthanatraya, it is called, 3 of them, that is Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutra. As he compiled all those and wrote Bhasya on that, he came to know of one Kumarilla. This Kumarilla was under tutelage of a Buddhist, and he wrote literature on commentary by Adi Shankara. So it became contradictory, and it so happened that he was asked more or less by his guru to submit to fire, to get burned, because he betrayed Buddhism. Adi Shankara came to know about it, so he ran to Prayag, where he was there. But then Kumarilla said that you will have to convince Mandan Mishra, who was a very powerful Karma Kandi. And that's how from Prayag, Adi Shankara came to Bihar, where he was asked to have a debate with Mandan Mishra. It was gracious of Adi Shankara himself who proposed that let his wife Ubhaya Bharti be the judge for it. And it so happened that in the debate, Adi Shankara won, and he became disciple of Adi Shankara under Mandan Mishra. So the story goes, I am trying to put before you the perspective that how Sanatan Dharma declined because of the prevalence of Buddhism, and then it came up again And what came up was not Karma Kand, but Advaita Vedanta came up. So they, Advaita Vedanta, they started to propagate the philosophy of non-dualism, and that's how Adi Sankara was responsible for that. Now coming to, that was the Udasina. Now when we come to Gatavyathaha, that is free from pain, even if the cause of pain is there. You see, when there is a Adhi or there is Vyadhi. Adhi and Vyadhi are physical or mental ailments. So, Gatavyatha is Adhi Sunya, free from pain. You all know very well Ramakrishna, he had cancer of the throat. He suffered a lot of suffering he had. And so was Ramana Maharshi. He also had cancer of the bone. So they both of them suffered very badly towards the end of their lives. Yet they endured it. Gatavyatha. They had no vyatha. They didn't feel pain because pain was in the body. And they didn't regard body to be his. Body is part of sansar. So if something is happening in sansar, why should I worry about it? That was the attitude. They considered themselves as Paramatma, Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, and as such, anything happening in the body was not of their concern. They were able to endure it. They were able to ward off. They were able to see that the suffering in the body is not my suffering. That is Gatavyatha. Sarvarambha Parityagi. That is, renounces every undertaking. That is, whatever is happening in the sansara, he is not making a start of any activity to end all beginnings. You all know behind any undertaking, there is a sense of doership, which is hidden there. Even if you are not claiming, you are doing something, that is evidence there is a sense of doership. You may claim to be the doer, but actually the doer is Prakriti. In fact, each and every action is we perform, there is this essence of Prakriti behind it. Prakriteha kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. It is because of your ego. You feel that it is my body and I am using this body, mind, intellect and physical body to perform action. But you do not realize that all the actions are driven by guna. They're all because of the guna in you and you, or in the parts of the body which you think is yours. They're all driven by that. And as such, even though physically you are performing, the fact is it is because of the guna that being performed. Now you see, this word Sarvarambha Parityagi is appearing in this verse of 12th chapter. It is also appearing in verse 25 of chapter 14. Sarvarambha Parityagi. And this also comes within the number of attributes of Gunatit. We have talked about that. If you remember, I had put up this characteristics of enlightened one. In this slide, I had put all the characteristics of Jivan Mukta, Sthita Pragya, Gunatita or Prabuddha in Karma Yoga, in Bhakti Yoga, in Jnana Yoga, in Gunatit, and also divine endowment. All these characteristics as we are talking about. We have learned about it and we know all these exist. In Gunatit, when we talk about, again, this manapamanayo tulya, tulyo mitrari pakshayo sarvarambha parityagi gunatita sa uchyate. That who remains same in honor and dishonor, who treat both friend and foe alike, and who have abandoned all enterprises. See, this Sarvarambha Parityagi. I will explain a bit more. They are said to have risen from three guna. First, we understand that whatever action is being performed, that all cannot happen if there is no guna. That means you are gunatit. If you are beyond guna, all these things will not happen, because behind every action, there has to be this guna behind it. That is gunatita. Now, when we talk of Sarvarambha Parityagi, it is also recommended, you learn in chapter 18, when it said, Sarvarambhi dose na dhume ragni riva vrtaha. All endeavors when you perform, there is veil, there is some evil behind, as fire is by smoke. When you see smoke, you realize there is fire behind it. So also when you perform any action, sarvarambha, as you start performing action, there is dosa in that. And dosa is some sort of evil in each and every action. But can you remain without performing action? No. Each and every one, each one of us, we are forced, compelled. Tyajam dos badidye ke karma prahur manisna. Also, manisna, they also say that because all the actions has dosa in it, you should avoid this. So you see, behind not performing action, behind this suggestion not to initiate any action, it has been understood well two things. One, that there is essence of desire behind each and every action. There is all guna behind every action, and that you have to accept that you are performing action. There will be some dosa in that. Sarvarambhi dose na tyajam dosa badityeki. So Manisna, they suggest that you avoid action because there is essence of dosa behind it. But my dear brothers and sisters, how can you avoid performing action? Nahi kaschit chanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krata karyate hyavasa karma sarva pratujayir gunaya. You cannot renounce action in that way. There is no one who can remain without action even for a moment. Indeed, all beings are compelled, avasaha, forcefully, they are compelled to act by their qualities born of material nature, three guna. So, what is the way out? On one side, you say that every action has got dosa in it. And on the other side, say that you have to perform action because you can't live without performing action. So what is the choice? How can one remain sarvarambha parityagi? The answer is that you have to transform all your karma into akarma. You perform action, but while performing action, take care that it becomes akarma. There is no fruit, any wrong result emerges out of it, or you start performing action with the attitude that you are not the doer. So you have niskama karma. You are either gunatit, you get rid of all your guna, even sato guna. Maharaji was just talking about watch. He said that somebody brought that present and he said it is for me or for. See, that feeling, even that is for a good purpose to keep track of the time. But even if that feeling that I should have, it is for me, that again there is guna attached. Even though it is satogun, even satogun is a deterrent at some level, although at a very high level. You should get rid of tamogun, rajogun, and then satogun. Get rid of satogun also. Then you become what is called gunatita. So you become gunatita and perform action. Fine, that's good. You should perform, but that action will not counted in the account of any giving any prarabdha. So you will that will not be counted as karma. You have to have doership in that, then it is counted. That is the definition of karma anyway. Or you are niskam karmi. That is another grade we all very well understand. Now, I was able to get excited when I saw this word anarambha in Ramayana. And you know, it is a beautiful thing when you go through Ramayana, it touches your heart much more, because the language is all so simple and easy to understand. No big Sanskrit. It's very simple language. And in Ramcharitmanas, you see this verse in Uttarakhand. Anarambha aniketa amani anaga arodha daksha vigyani. You see, I will come to that. In this period, in this 6 verses in Uttarakhand, what happens? Little bit of background. What happens? Bhagwan Ramchandra, after victory, after killing Ravana, it returns back to Ayodhya, and that is Uttarakhand, and he requests Guru Vasishtha to come and be Adhyaksha, and he calls all his praja from Ayodhya to come. He wanted to give sermon. Now see the beauty. That sermon which he gives to all his praja fits in very well with all those we are talking about in Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Gunatit, in all these attributes which we have been talking about, which is given in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan Ram gives that to his praja in 6 verses in Uttarakhand. I will not go through all of them, but I will just refer to this Chopai, which says Anarambha Aniketa Amani. Again, those words are there. Aniket, we'll come to that in a minute. Amani, Anagha, Aros, Daksha we just heard about. Vigyani. So those who do not initiate action with a hope to obtain fruit, that is Anarambha. Homeless Aniketa, egoless Amani, sinless Anagha, without fury, skillful and knowledgeable. So actually that 25 attributes are given there. But let me also point out that in this very segment, Bhagwan also talks about comparison between Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. You see, in 12th chapter, Klesho Dikataraste Sam Obhyakta Sakta Chetasam. That part also is mentioned in Ramayana in this segment when he says, Jnana Agama Pratyuha Aneka Sadhan Katinana Man Kahu Teka Kahu Bhagati Path Kavan Prayasa Yoga namak jap tap upavasa. You see how beautifully he puts it. The same philosophy as Bhagwan Krishna tells to Arjuna, that Jnana agam pratyuh aneka. Jnana is fathomless, with hurdles, which problem, agam pratyuha, that means lot of hurdle there. Sadhana kathin, it is tough to practice. Na man kahu teka, it is very hard for mind to concentrate. That is how you can concentrate or devote onto unmanifest Brahma. That to concentrate on unmanifest Brahma is very hard, very difficult to concentrate. Kleso dhikatarastesa. That is hard to. What about bhakti? Kahahu bhagati path kavan prayasa. Tell me, what is the problem what is the hurdle in bhakti? There is no hurdle. That means there is no hurdle in the path of bhakti. Why? Yoga namaka japa tap upavasa. There is no need for doing any japa, any yagya, austerity and fasting. You in bhakti, you may not be doing all those things. In fact, these are at a apara bhakti. You want to do para bhakti. So when you do para bhakti, you don't have to do all those fasting and japa and austerity. Even without doing that, भगवान के पास आपके दर्शन हो सकते हैं। सबरी ने कौन सा यज्ञ किया था, कौन सा उसने तप किया था, all those things need not be done, yet you can follow the path of bhakti insofar devotion is concerned. It is easier. The path is not very difficult. Path is not unsurmountable, as it is to concentrate, to have the mind to bring into concentration and concentrate at the feet of the Lord. That path is not so easy. It is a bit difficult. Now let us move to the next verse, that is verse 17. In verse 17, Bhagwan says, Yo na hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha parityagi bhaktimanya same priya. Yah, this he, na hrishyati, neither rejoices, na dveshti, nor he frets, na sochati, neither laments, na kankshati, nor hankers for gain, subha asubha parityagi, who renounces both good and evil. Bhaktiman is full of devotion. Yah sa me priya, such a person is dear to me. My time is over. I think I will continue next week. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev, Jai Sri Krishna to Guru Ma.
Jai Shri Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Jai Shri Krishna, again, Jai Gurudev, Dr. Prasad Ji. So well explained and analyzed Bhakti Yoga, going before and after of 12th chapter. So beautiful. We are running short of time, but I have a special request from Gita Ashram, Minnesota, to take 1 minute to describe their program, and then we request the final segment of the program, meditation by Swami Gita Kirti. So, please, Vivek Kamranji, 1 minute.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so very, very much. Really enjoyed. Welcome to have you back. Looks like आपको बहुत बड़ा injection मिला है from Gita Dham. You're
Yes.
back in a big way. We are so happy for sharing your message. And Guru Ma is here and Ramanji is here. Congratulations on a beautiful conference. No doubt about it. And yes, thanks to our speakers. Yes, Gurudev just does work miracles, as we know. Can you see this by any chance?
Yes.
Okay. So message is to become a better divine human being. That's all I know of, to do a better job. So whether you're an engineer or whoever else, that's our goal. Yes, met Guru Ma. That was a beautiful meeting with Guruma. She's doing very well. Enjoyed our visits very much. We had a good time, in good health, and we enjoyed it. And hopefully, I'm going to talk about tomorrow a little bit. So the 127th celebrations are in Gita Ashram, Minnesota. Don't forget, there is a mini Gita Dham here. So please do join us on a link tomorrow. I will be sending it to you. And we want to express our gratitude to Gurudev. The other thing I forgot is Peter G. Amit, what a role model we have here with us. What a role model. And congratulations to him and to both of you as parents. My goodness. And also, Joshi ji, coming back to it, one of these days you should get Dr. Atul on the program too. He's another great guy, and Kavita ji. So we have a lot of role models sitting there, and Kapoor ji and your kids. One thing I've learned after my visit to Gita Ashram in Delhi, reminding me of Guruji, Gurudev, all of us who are sitting here today, all of us, has done some miracle for each family. Some miracle for each family. And we are so blessed. So take that and do something for your Guru is the best thing we can do. So I just want to remind you, we'll have some speakers. And then one quick thing coming up. Guess what? We are inviting you to our 50th anniversary Gita Ashram Minnesota celebrations. Want you to join us here on that date. Save the date in your mind. So all of us, so Peter Ji, you have to come with Atul and everybody from Amit and everybody from Canada. He needs to revisit. Kapoor Saab, you have to come. Dr. Saab, leave California and come. So do come and visit Gita Ashram. So we will have some details on the program. And Vilayji, you must come out of Thailand, a special invitation. You served Gita Ashram so well during Gurudev's visits. I won't take too much of your time. We'll talk about this some other day. But thank you again for giving me a minute of your time. And welcome Guruma and Ramanji, and a great job at Gita Dham. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev Vivekji. Now I request our beautiful last segment, meditation by Swami Gita Kiranji. We are ready, Swami Gita Kiranji. I've been missing your meditation for some time. Yes.
Sadgurum Tam Namami. Sadgurum Tam Mohilagilakana Guru Charananaki. Mohilagilakana Guru Charananaki. Charana bina kashuve nahi bhave. Jagamaya sab sapana ki. Jagamaya sab sapana ki. Mohilagilakala Guru Charananaki. Avasagara sab sukhi gayo hai. Fir nahi mohitarananaki. Fikr nahi mohitarananaki. Mohilagilakana Guru Charananaki. Mohilagilakana Guru Charananaki. Mira ke Prabhu Giridhar Nagara. Asavahi Guru Sarananaki. Asavahi Guru Sarananaki. Mohilagilakana Guru Charananaki. Mohilagilakana Guru Charananaki. शरीरं ग्रहं पूजाते विषयोपभो गुरुजना निद्रा समाधि स्थितिः निद्रा समाधि स्थितिः संसारपनयो प्रदक्षिणविधिः स्तोत्राणि सारवा यत् कर्मकरोमि तदखिलं शम्भो तव आराधनम् शम्भो तव आराधनम् You can now gently and slowly open your eyes and know that you are a unique and beautiful spiritual being of pure consciousness, and all you have to do is to shine brightly, and you will be helping the world and the universe. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev, stay blessed.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Thank you very much, Swami Kitakiran ji. Apologize for using extra minutes today. At this time, we conclude our program. Thank you for joining. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai
Jai
Gurudev.
Shri Krishna. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you so much.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Vilaji. Thank
We
you.
had a beautiful session today.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it was good. And Vivek is the backbone of this program.
Excuse me. Backbone. We have the backbones, Dr. Prasad. What a great job he did. My goodness. I don't know how you do it, Dr. Prasad. We are so lucky to have you.
Prasadi, you are phenomenal. You are phenomenal.
No. Gurudev's, his kripa, his blessings. Nothing more.
He was a professor.
I tell you how thoughts come in. I can tell you how thoughts come in. I do not know. When I write any article, next time when I go back and read it, I said, did I write it?
Kindly give us the permission to go inside you.
We are all one.
I tell you, Gahana Karmano Gati.
Arey my God, how this thought again came. Ramanji asked me to give a title for the conference. I said, okay, Gahana Karmano Gati. It just came in. And he agreed to that straightway. Yoshi ji agreed, Guru Ma agreed, and it was a wonderful theme.
It's a life-changing thought once you know that. It's a life-changing.
That theme was wonderful. I enjoyed listening to all the scholars. It was great conference.
Thank you. We
Well, physically I missed badly. I really missed badly. But I tell you, physically it is a bit strain, undertaking journey and all those. It is
the 20 hours plus is a very long time to be in a tube.
age catching up.
Actually, it's more than 20 hours, much more.
Joshiji, I think we are all gopis, and you and Vivek are the Udhavs.
Excuse me.
When you understand a karma concept, then you don't care. You do what you have to do. You are not doing it.
The way Vivek puts in his input, I mean, that excites my mind.
Yeah.
It brings more of thing to think about. Brings it those key words which Gurudev has talked about. Oh my God, that is really remarkable. All those words are tons of gold in that.
क्या कह रहे हैं आप, Dr. Prasad? Excuse me. I think Gurudev's miracle has worked on all of us.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
कुछ चाबी दी है सबको, ऐसी चाबी दी है, वो चाबी चलती रहती है.
सही बात है, आप सही बोल रहे हो.
There is no doubt about it. But today, when we heard Dr. Saab today, you should be very, very proud. We are all very proud. And and the same thing I noticed when I was at Joshi ji's house, कि उनके जो Dr. Saab बच्चे हैं, Amit, right? Atul, I was amazed at this guy, how much seva he does. And देखो, different रूप में हम सब आते हैं यहाँ पे. कोई हम गीता पढ़ा रहे हैं, जैसे Kapoor Saab saying, hey, watch out, you better do this, right? And then there are those who are just doing it. They're just doing service because उनको ऐसी opportunity मिली है या ऐसे गुरुदेव के blessings हैं. So each of us, you're right, we have been touched. And जो आपने आज कहा, I don't know how you mix Ramayan and Gita and everything together. It is very, very blissful. That's the word. Very blissful. Yes, very true. And Peter ji, you better come to Minnesota now. Your son mentioned about Minnesota today. Huh?
Absolutely.
आपको आना पड़ेगा उसके साथ.
हाँ जी, आ जाएंगे.
देनी पड़ेगी.
केशव जी,
स्पीच नहीं दूंगा, स्पीच सुनूंगा.
नहीं, वो देगा, आप नहीं कहोगे. Your son will give.
नहीं, my dear Keshav ji is very quiet today.
कपूर साहब, इतने हाई लेवल के आदमी, जब such a high level people are talking, I'm just a puppet. How can I say anything?
No.
Don't deprive us of your wisdom, please.
But the fact of the matter is, I'm also blessed by Harihar Maharaj ji, because he gave me chapter 15 in totality. He blessed me with that. And the end result is, now I am surrendered to Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Because I visited in last couple of years different places in America. And wherever I go, I see they are worshipping their own physical guru which they had. And they are forgetting the ultimate guru, Krishna Vande Jagat Guru. I went to New Mexico. तो वहाँ पे वो हनुमान जी के भक्त हैं, तो उनके जो गुरु थे उन्हीं की मूर्ति है, उन्हीं की पूजा कर रहे हैं. I didn't see Krishna Bhagwan's मूर्ति there. I attended another retreat. They were worshipping their lively human being Guru. And of course, Krishna Bhagwan were there. But the ultimate message of Gita is to surrender to Purushottam Krishna by thanking the Gurus which we have come across in our this life, and let it be the ultimate life. Yesterday I was talking in another group from Dallas. I told them the word Mrityasya came there. Second chapter, shloka number 26, 7 and 28, I suppose. So in 27 it was Mrityasya. I told there, Mrityasya is Mrityu. And we should try, it is not Mrityu, but Mukti. We have to struggle to convert Mrityu into Mukti. And that is with the blessings of Hariharji Maharaj, who directed me to Purushottam Krishna. I am surrendering to him so that at the time of last breath, if God permits, I may recite the shortest mantra, Om, and I'm practicing every single moment of my life, breath. I recite Om Jai Shri Krishna, Om Jai Purushottam Krishna, so that at the time of death, this word precipitates and comes forth, Om Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you very much for Narendra Kapoorji inspiring me to say something.
Vivekji,
Great.
while I have you here, Vivekji, I have confirmed the 5th and 12th for you of April. Would that be okay?
Whichever date suits you is fine.
Yeah, 5th and 12th are confirmed for you. And Chopra ji, 19th को आपसे निवेदन है कि 19th आप अपना नाम लिखवा दीजिए.
19th April, sorry, I may be in India because I have been struggling for the 2-3 months to go to India because sometimes my eye problem comes. But anyway, even if I'm in India, I think it will not be difficult for me to speak from there if Wi-Fi is there. So I'll keep 19th in my mind at the back of my head.
Okay, no, keep it at the front of your head. Don't put it at the back.
Oh, okay. In my heart, in my heart.
Yeah.
19th, because you
Right.
know, 20th April is my birthday. So one day before that, if I'm getting this opportunity, how can I say no? Oh, no, never.
Confirmed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri
Jai
Krishna.
Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.